Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, so a different topic this time. I've talked about it many other times in other videos, but as a prepper, you need to think about security for your homestead, your family, and so on, and sometimes your livestock. But y'all remember, I've talked about it before. That's a PTZ camera that I can control with my phone. 360 degrees. I can aim it at my sister's house and zoom in. She's about 300 yards away, and she could hold up one finger on her hand, and I'll tell her which finger she's holding up from that far away. That was a $600 camera. It wasn't cheap. But I've also got, get my finger right, camera in that corner. There's camera on the back right here, one on the other corner, one on the front corner, back on the front side. So there's 5 cameras on my DVR system that runs 24/7, records 24/7. Got a terabyte hard drive, so it records about 30 days worth roughly of video, and then it overwrites it. But I've had that camera system for quite a few years, and the cameras I've got I've got a few more, but the 5 that I've got up, I got a few that I want to replace, and I've got a few extra, and I've done that. But I don't want to add more more cameras to it because it's a wired system. The wire goes through my attic and drops down to the DVR. But with today's technology, you can get, I say, much better cameras. So that is a wireless Wi-Fi security camera. Takes a memory card, and it's got its own little solar panel. So I mounted 6 of those yesterday. So there's one on this corner, there's one on the front corner, one on this front edge, and one back here, just on the house. Now, those are PTZ controlled cameras, meaning I can go to that camera and control it. It also has a person tracking feature to where you turn that on. Any person size thing moving in its range, it will follow it as it moves around. And I've got that turned on all 6 cameras. So, I've done videos about security. Sparky has a job. My dog before him had a job. But cameras are a big thing. And these are internet Wi-Fi cameras. Now, y'all know I run on off-grid about 60% of the time, at least during the spring and fall. So let me pause this. So I put one on the back side of the old building here, and it's set for motion. Now, in other words, my chickens won't make it move. Dogs normally won't make it move. But that turkey, when he puffs all out and spread his wings, the female included, even the rooster, when he puffs all out, they get big enough that the camera will follow them. But I've got it set up for that home position where it is now. I can see all the way down this side of the pens back to here. And that gives me a live view 24/7, no matter where I am in the world. I can see my cameras and make sure my livestock's okay. Y'all remember 8-9 months ago, I had some dogs get in and kill all my chickens except my 2 roosters and the 3 babies that were in the brooder in the house. Killed everything else. Cost me a lot of money, but the owner has never paid a dime, by the way. But security, being able to catch it in the act is something that I'm really starting to enjoy. So that's camera number 5, and then I want to show y'all, I've got fuel storage out here. Well, gasoline's not cheap, and thieves figure out there's 70 gallons sitting here and want to come steal it, there's a camera mounted right there. And I can control that camera as well. It'll spin all the way around, back and forth both directions, and it aimed at the chicken pen, but it's also aimed right across the top of the fuel barrel. So if let me see if it'll yep, it just moved down. It should turn, but it didn't turn. Either way, it will when it wants to, I guess. But that way I've got camera on the fuel barrels, and nobody's going to come up here and steal the entire barrel. They may steal some, but they're going to get caught on that camera. So I like those cameras. They're not that incredibly expensive. I looked at buying a whole new DVR system, and to get a really good one with good cameras, preferably wireless, man, that stuff's hard to find and very expensive. So spend a couple $100 and get 6 of those Wi-Fi cameras that I can move anywhere I want to, and help keep my stuff secure, or at least give me an opportunity to catch somebody if they do get nosy. So that's the idea, guys. Security is important. I'm gonna turn back this way. And that's not an expensive option. If you have Wi-Fi at home, you can get a wireless Wi-Fi camera that will connect to your Wi-Fi, and if you've got it on a pole like I do up on the edge of the house up there, my other camera that I already had, you can turn that thing 360 degrees and see your entire property, or a big chunk of it, depending on your size of property, of course. But it's just an inexpensive way to be able to know your preps, your property, your loved ones are safe. So a couple of negatives with those cameras. One, I'm going to aim it at the garden and talk. One is it sends a lot of notifications if you turn them on every time it picks up movement. I wish there was an option where you could slow that down a little bit without turning it off. There's not. I've just set mine to no vibration, no noise, just giving a notification on the app. When I look at my phone, there it is. Now, that means I don't get it instantly, or I don't see it instantly, although I get it instantly. I guess you could choose the notification sound and all that, and it wouldn't drive you crazy. But when I'm at work, I'm at work. So I try not to have things like that that really cause me distraction during the day. The second thing about them is it runs live all the time, and it takes a screenshot, a picture, and sends it to you with that notification. But it doesn't save them technically. It does save some, but not like you would expect it to. But if you put a memory card in it, which I've got, it takes a micro SD. I've got plenty of memory cards ordered. I'm hoping they'll work with it. You never know these days. And that'll be able to record whenever it's picked up. They do go to sleep. The motion sensor stays on. The camera goes to sleep. It is a wireless solar powered camera. So I've been monitoring the battery usage with all the rain we've had the last few days. I fully charge them off power in the house with a cord. It comes with the cord. And then they sat on the table for 24 hours before the rain let up enough yesterday. I could get out and start putting the cameras up. And you can go into each camera and look at the health of the camera, which includes your battery percent. And after being charged and unplugged for 24 hours and then being outside for 12 to 14 hours, I was still at 86% battery. And I was looking at it a lot, especially while you're setting it up, because you want to look at it on your phone to get the angle you want and all of that good stuff. Make sure it's in a good spot. So the batteries will last at least 4 or 5 days, if not a week. depending on how many times it's triggered to wake up and record. But either way, inexpensive, cost me a couple $100, maybe a little more, a little less, somewhere in that ballpark. And it's going to add some security so that I can always check on my homestead no matter where I am. Y'all know I am a person that likes to stay home as much as possible, but I'm just like y'all. I have to work, I have to earn a living, and this way I can check in on my homestead whenever I want to. I also moved that cheap, what I call Temu light, from the corner of the house because it didn't light up enough to really do anything. Put the solar panel here so it'll get up till lunchtime sun, and put the light on this side. And y'all, the night vision on these cameras is phenomenal. They've got lights. You can have them to where it's, whenever it's triggered, the light will come on and light up the whole area. But what is that over there on the ground? Oh, just a tree limb. But I didn't want to run my batteries down, and I've got it set. You've got 3 or 4 different settings for night vision, and I wanted it without the light, because even I tested them in my house, went in my bedroom, 10 o'clock at night, turned out all the lights, and I could see everything in that bedroom great. So with no light, they worked phenomenal. And I put them outside, and I tested them last night, and they worked phenomenal. I can see them without having the light come on. And they also have infrared, so if it's something with body heat, you know, a person or whatever, you'll see them coming. Pretty easy. I'm not going to show y'all pictures of my camera shots, even though they are movable and they track a person and all that stuff. I'm just not going to show my camera shots on video. But just telling you, get you a good set of those cameras. Don't buy the little cheap $20 ones, but get you a good set of cameras. Look at the reviews, Amazon, Temu, wherever you want to buy stuff, and get you a good set. And I'm telling you, it's worth the money. You can't get a good DVR system for that, and the memory cards are cheap. So just an idea. Security is a big thing for crap hitting the fan, and we all need to be focused on that and put some effort into it, not just talk about it. So spend a little bit of money, save up if you need to save up, and get you a good camera system. I mean, my daughter had a firearm stolen out of her car because she didn't lock her car. It parks right in the front yard by the front door, and and they live in, land price wise, some of the most expensive land in Sumter County, Georgia. They live in a really, really nice neighborhood. Ain't no hood, you know. And somebody got in their car and stole a firearm out of her car. And cameras would have made a difference. They could have proved who it was, and so on and so forth. So anyway, something for y'all to think about. I did another video, I'm sure y'all saw that the day before this one, where I moved the chickens. I have not moved the ones I want to put back in the middle yet, but I will do that when it gets dark. I did talk about doing this video on that video, so it's not like I was hiding it from y'all. Both these videos are made on the same day at different times. But will you hush? Come on, dude. Anywho, guys, think about these cameras. They are, I mean, I'm sure there's many other brands out there. There's dozens. But get you a good solar powered Wi-Fi camera. Those, you see, I got to turn that blue light off. I've got the blue light turned off on all the other cameras. I just realized this one's on. Oh no, that was just because it was picking up me moving. Okay, because that light will stay on when they're on, and I got it turned off. There's no need. I'm not going to be out here staring there looking to see if the light's on, and if somebody's here that don't need to be here, they don't need to know. But either way, y'all think about your security. Do what you can to make things better for yourself, safer, protect your investment, protect your family, and all that. So y'all remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.